Let's get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans by fans, with your hosts, Jessy Martin.
Because 90% of them are wrong. They're fucking wrong.
Max Taman.
You've got a plate of shit and you've got a bowl of shit. They're the same thing.
Scott Hartley.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah.
John Taman.
What the hell was I talking about?
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
And now, the world's worst podcast host, John Taman.
Hey, that's me. I'm the world's worst podcast host, and I was going to say that, Max just got here under the freaking bell, and I was going to say we were going to go with the more good-looking option, and we put out a call into the UK and said, hey, best-looking guy in England, please. And
he didn't show up. Yeah.
So you had to go for the second option.
he blew us off, right? So we called Scouse.
Happy birthday.
So no, it's happy
Scouse.
birthday to Scouse, our good friend here today. So we're going to start the show off with a nice cheerful round of, hey, he's a good fellow and all that sort of thing.
And happy birthday, good
Thanks for having me
sir.
on.
Yeah.
This is two Bleeding Burgundy podcasts in a row. We've had a birthday boy on.
Yeah, I told Scouse earlier in the chat that he ruined my birthday week the day he was born.
The dogs must
I think Washington ruined your birthday. Oh, our birthday week, shall we call it?
Probably, pretty much. They have been for a long time.
Well,
You're not wrong.
Dogs are getting yelled at right now.
I know. Jesse's always yelling at those dogs. All right, so did you do anything special for you? Oh, well, first off, over here on the top right, Scott, who is sitting here really feeling his oats up here at the top. How you doing today, Scott?
I'm good, mate. It's better than sowing my oats, I suppose. But there you go.
Are you feeling elevated today? You're up here on the top row.
I'm feeling great at the top row. It's nice to be at the top table. I mean, what's going on?
Up to the east side.
Scott, didn't you establish earlier this week that you are a bottom?
No, we're not even.
No, I think Jesse
we're not even
said that
going
he
there.
was a bum.
We're not even going there.
And, well, no, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. Speaking of not going there, Scouse spent the week with dead people. But we're not even going to talk about that. All right.
Just leave it right there.
Yeah, we'll just leave it right there. Scouse spent the week with dead people. I think it was some kind of couples retreat. I'm not sure. But, all right. And
He
way
didn't
over
come
there
on.
the
He didn't
bottom-
come on here just to get bagged on, but we'll do our best.
Oh, yeah. It's his birthday. Of course we're going to give him a hard time. So over here on the bottom is our good friend Max, and my son Max with his hat on in the basement because he didn't pay his electric bill, and now he's freezing cold.
I also just ran in from outside. It's been a chaotic day.
It is fucking cold out there, isn't it?
It is cold.
I don't know, man. What the hell is this November shit? I can't stand it.
At work, I sit right by the door where the smokers go out, so I just get frozen every time they have to go out. It's great.
Yeah, fuck them. You know what you do then? Trip them. Yeah, it's not like they can catch you. They're wheezing in a few steps. All right, so let's see. We've got some stuff to talk about. This is actually the general bullshit session of the podcast. So, Scouse, it is your birthday. Do you have any general bullshit that you would like to discuss? Well, thanks anyway. How about you?
All right, moving on.
How about you? All right. So, is there any Commanders news of note this week? We do have some, but we're going to get to that in a minute with with our next segment because we're trying to do this in segments. All right.
Injuries are
Well, yeah, that's in our,
we need a buy. We really need a buy right now.
Well, we got the mini buy.
We do get a mini buy. And
Yeah,
that's pretty good. We do get a mini
Captains were named, John. It's Zach Ertz, Sam Restill, and
Jeremy McNichols.
Jeremy McNichol. Yeah, thank you very much, Max. Couldn't remember the
All right, well, that's
special.
good.
Why should Zach Ertz get one?
Because it's fun to hear
One
Scott say
tackle
Zach
line,
Ertz.
cool.
Zach Ertz.
It's
Zach
also
Ertz.
fun to hear Scouse say it.
Yeah, it is fun to hear that.
Ertz.
Too. All right, well then, since we're moving right along here, I'm going to go ahead and call for Commanders Recon. Let's see, do I have a graphic for Commanders Recon? I'm pretty sure that I do. I thought that I did. God damn, this show is fucking pro level. Let me tell you here. We'll just put this up for. All right, so I don't know who our officials are this week. Let me look that up right now because, as always, I am not prepared for this fucking podcast. I got too
Well,
much
while you do
shit
that,
to
let's do a Yanks versus Winks update
Yeah,
since I
go
already
ahead,
had
do
that
that.
Let's do
pulled
that.
up, and that's
Unlucky Scotty boy.
Boy, that's why Scouse is here.
So-
I'm
Scott
here
homework.
to
He's
lay
gonna,
that
he's
shovel
off
right
work,
into
so.
you.
So let's rewind to week 10, and game of the week, me versus Tony. Obviously, I kicked Tony's ass. Just saying, it was
Game of the
132 to 105. John got a bye against Toothpick, and Scott, our buddy,
The top of the league.
co-host / permanent guest, got his fucking ass kicked by Scouse. So the mantle goes from Max to Scott, and
I think it's a little harder on Scott since he was top of the division.
Yeah, I was
And,
8-1.
Oh, you were 8-1. You shit the bed.
Yeah.
yeah.
I have it on repeat.
God, I just want to say that this plate that they've been just crapping on me for, I'm going to hand it to you.
There you go.
Thanks, mate.
Right,
Appreciate
you're
it. I'll take that. Cheers. Thanks.
First annual changing of the plate of who got beat by Scouse in the fantasy football league.
Max with
dear.
a big win against Yam.
Thank you, Lamar.
Yeah. What did he get? Like
That was
30 points.
very nice to wake up to.
Joseph beat his dad. He's the top scorer of the week. 173 points.
I just want to point out that so far both sons have beaten their dads in this league.
Yeah, there you go.
I
Of
mean,
course, he got the big help with
now,
the 61 points from Jamar Chase. 61 points.
Wow.
I would
And,
consider that elite.
I will just point out that I left 51 points on the bench.
Yeah, but
Because
shit by you,
someone
isn't it,
on a podcast
Shit.
said, "Oh yeah, Nico Collins is going to play," and I was like, "Oh okay."
Who,
So I
what?
went to bed thinking
Well-
Nico Collins is going to play, and he
I
didn't
didn't say
play.
that because I
Look.
set him down on in my money
Look.
league. He ain't gonna
They
play.
You
activated
got
him.
beat by someone who had
Activated.
Quentin Johnson in his lineup. Stop it.
That's true.
Quentin Johnson's been scoring some touchdowns now. Unless you've been not paying attention, the Chargers have been putting up some points lately.
You
and
just
got a
knew
good
though.
defense.
You just knew that Ricky Pearsall and Kyler Murray would have the game of their lives when they're on my bench. Yeah, thanks for that.
Well, have you thought that? Why didn't you pick them then? Why didn't you select them?
So this
Obviously, you
week,
didn't know that, did you? Hey?
No.
so this week matchup is I'm going against Max, which should be a good game.
Again.
Yeah.
Hopefully Alvin Kamara doesn't score 6 touchdowns again.
Another really good game is Scott against John. That's going to be and right now,
The bruises are getting bruised.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take that gold tooth from you.
well,
I'm gonna do an Aqib Talib on your ass.
yeah, John needs some work to do in his lineup because right now the projection is 122 to 66.
I'm not
so.
too concerned about what
Jesus.
my lineup looks like right now.
Mark and Tony, Yam gets a bye, and Scouse is going against Joseph, and that's going to be a tough one for
Hey,
you, Scouse. Let's see
I'm
if
3
you,
in a row, baby. I'm three in a row. So come on, let's go.
Right on.
That was going to be 4.
And that's your weekly update of Yanks versus Winks.
I do want to point out that last Thursday I made a pretty big pickup that's going to be a sleeper with Keaton Mitchell coming off of IR.
Okay.
The third string running back. You mean him? Yeah, that's good.
You mean the second string running back in Baltimore, who's going to be the running back that
Who's the Bills number 2? Yeah.
Well,
This
you
kid-
know,
this
the
kid- this
thing
cat's
about all
better.
of this is that last week you picked the Cowboys. Shut
that
up.
is true.
Go away. Yeah, you ain't got nothing to say.
I mean, he's projected to have a big game. I mean, 2.56 points.
You're right,
so.
but wait till his projections start. Wait till he actually starts.
Which will be never.
He-
All right, we're all laughing at you. That's right.
All right, moving on from Yanks
All right, I'm
versus
still
Winks.
loading something up here because, like I say, I'm busy as shit. I'm not as prepared as I could be. But hey, I don't even know where the fuck it is.
So weather.
Fuck,
What's
yeah,
the
the
weather?
weather. I don't know what the weather's going to be. The
So-
referee, I do have.
I have the weather.
Please give us the
Come on,
weather.
then. Let's do the weather.
So
It's fucking storming.
Windy.
so
That says it's windy. and it's
There's a
full of
warm front blowing in
asparagus.
from the south.
tomorrow evening in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, it will
Pretty
be
much the same.
a low of 38 degrees.
Shaden's going to be hurting.
we have a 20% chance of humidity, and we have 7 miles an hour of wind from the northeast.
I mean, look, I'm still not sold on Jaden in cold games.
We
You know,
haven't
when
seen
it's
him play in a cold
60
game.
degrees outside and he's got a balaclava on, that scares me a little bit.
Freaking last Thursday night was the Ravens and the Bengals. It was 70 degrees outside, and Lamar Jackson was wearing one.
Scouse,
I think
for
it's
us in
fashion.
the UK, you go in Celsius, that is 3 degrees.
Oh, it's easy though.
I mean, I don't think it says anything. Like
No
I said,
problem.
Lamar Jackson was wearing one. It was 70 degrees out there. I think it's fashion. I think
Just putting this out there in the ether, Costco has fleece line pants, work pants, on sale for $20.
Oh, yeah?
They're great. Yeah, I bought a couple pair and wore some today because it was chilly today, and they were fantastic.
I'm writing that shit down right there. I tell you what, this is the podcast you tune in
And the
for.
big embossed book.
Right, this is the podcast you watch for late-breaking Commanders information like that. By the way, I forgot to mention, Scott Hartley today is brought to you by Woo Technologies Benjamin St. Juice Roaster Toaster. It's perfectly toasted and completely roasted every time.
I don't know.
Get one for the holidays. All moms agree. The Benjamin St. Juice Roaster
Woo
Toaster
kitchens.
will keep your That's right. Every modern kitchen should have one. There you go. Perfectly roasted and completely toasted every time. Jeez, Max, it's not that good. My God, damn.
I'm laughing at just the stuffing.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at as well.
Well,
He has actually got that turkey neck at the
plates
top.
Of Abner Ruiz Insect Variety Pack. Yeah, the turkey neck. There he is, right there, and with a good smile. Because what's more fun than getting fucking roasted by a goddamn wide receiver that sounds like a goat at the end of the football game and losing to the Steelers? All right. Let's see. Okay, so the referee that we have this week, I've finally gone ahead and looked it up, is Adrian Hill and his crew. And, man, these guys, they like throwing their flags. They have had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 games over 15 flags, a high of 22 flags in the Buffalo Bills versus New York Jets. Last week in the Vikings and Jags game, they only threw 9 for some reason, but they threw 15 the week before that. So, get ready for some fucking
But we said the same
crap.
thing. We said the same thing last week, and it was a relatively clean game with the penalties.
I'll tell you
10
what.
flags.
And Benjamin St. Just, I think, would argue with you. I should have put down on this little advertisement here that every one of these Benjamin St. Juice Roaster Toasters comes with at least 2 yellow flags.
Now,
You can use as a centerpiece on your table.
real quick, if you can find the Adrian Hill portrait for his official NFL thing, the dude looks like he's cross-eyed as all get out.
Oh, yeah? Let's take a look at him. Yeah, he's some kind of rocket scientist. I'm just hoping that he calls a decent game and throws most of his flags against the Philadelphia Eagles. I hope he doesn't like them, and I hope that really sometime back in his past, his mother maybe had a run-in with one of them at a supermarket, and it didn't turn out so well, and he never forgot it. He likes to throw flags on the Philadelphia Eagles. Jesse,
I will
you
say,
agree?
Sure.
Adrian Hill was born in D.C.
I must say, this obsession with Adrian Hill is kind of troubling. Scouse, do you agree?
Extremely.
I would think so. And
How
this is
does
a man
that
who
work
loses
then? 'Cause
fantasy
this is-
football.
this
He's
is
on a
interesting.
He's a one-game winning streak here.
How does it work for officials then? I thought because like in soccer over here, you can't referee a game if you either support the team or you're from the area. So we wouldn't expect like a Liverpool Manchester United game to be done by a Manchester United supporting referee or someone who is born in Manchester, for example. You'd have to get someone from a different area to referee that game, obviously for obvious biases. How does that work if he was born in DC?
Since most Americans are a little bit more sensible when it comes to their sports teams.
Yeah, we don't go burning shit down or anything.
Yeah.
Well, that's very true. So
You know?
you've been to Leeds away then,
Well,
John.
I don't know.
Yeah,
We've
okay.
seen some people overturn some cop cars and some buses before.
Well, yeah. I mean, after Super Bowls, but
We
like
saw
as
some
far
Philadelphia Eagle fans eat horse shit.
as yeah, most of the referees, they're like lawyers or like fucking stock market gurus or like they got other jobs.
Oh yeah, they all have other jobs.
So and that's that's one of the problems with referees. They don't have any full-time referees.
I thought that they hired a group that's just going to be it's like a small group of them.
Yes, there's I think there was 8 full-time officials.
It's the most asinine thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
And I mean everybody knows this. What they should do, because they can afford it, is fuck having a lawyer out there on the field thinking about, oh fuck, I got to file a brief tomorrow. Oh shit, fuck.
So,
I go ahead, Max. You
because I pulled up his Wikipedia page just for some tidbits.
Right.
And how much of a dork does this going to sound like? So he was born in D.C., but he was raised in New York. He did not play football in high school because he was undersized. However, he would play the role of referee when his friends wanted to play pickup football.
He was born to do it.
And to point out,
known as Punching Bag Hill by his group of friends.
he does live in Bowie.
Oh yeah, so maybe he'll like us. I don't know, but it's hard to tell.
It's like a lot of these referees are regionals too, aren't they? I'm pretty sure.
No,
They
I don't
fly 'em
think
out
so.
all
I
over.
think they move all over the place. The thing about it is that they should have all of their officials be full-time officials.
Sure.
On Monday, I don't want this guy going in and fucking saying, Your Honor, I think that the flag I threw yesterday was a load of crap. I don't want him arguing a case in front of somebody, and I'm sure his whoever he's arguing for doesn't either. I want him sitting at the film room. I want him freaking studying the goddamn rule book because they fuck things up so badly. I'll say it again. Last week, all right, Scouts, it's your birthday. I'm going to bring you in on this real quick because you've been sitting there nice and quiet, being all polite. And you, Scotty, too. The pass interference that we got that was on Noah Brown, the guy's arm barring him all the way down the fucking sideline. The freaking side judge is right in front of that play looking directly at it and doesn't throw the flag. It has to come in from behind. How is this possible? You're a doctor. Tell me how the fuck this works.
Must have forgot the glasses, mustn't he?
The glasses. I think so. I think he was.
The contacts just don't work. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on, to be fair.
Was he watching the TV up on the fucking, on a jumbotron?
Yeah, watching himself on the big screen, like, oh yeah, this is great, great shot. You know?
Yeah, look at me, I'm running backwards.
Fuck, Yeah,
Scott.
joke. The joke. It is a genuine joke, and I believe what you say there. I think they should be full time. There should be no other outside interests at all, really, besides.
They can afford it.
You know what I mean? So, and the rule book and those things, and learning how to fucking spot a ball using fucking video technology.
Right.
Learn that one.
Right.
The
guy's coming from 5 yards away and trying to run a straight line across the field when he doesn't even really see where it is because he's trying to look. It's too much. It's too much for them to do. Simple as that. So, Scott, is there any really reasonable explanation that you can give arguing on the behalf of the NFL for why they don't do this?
No,
right on the
not
fucking
really.
spot.
No, I can't argue. I can't argue for it. If it's a multi-billion-dollar business, why it is internationally recognised? Why can't they do that? They take enough money from the fans. You know what I mean? Whether it's the owners who need to pay up for this, or whether it's the actual NFL themselves. Christ, Roger Goodell gets paid enough money, so take some off his salary. If you need to pay the referees some money, it's
They're not hurting
ridiculous.
For money, that's for sure.
No, I know what you mean. They're not. Yeah, they're not going to the dollar store, are they? Let's be honest. But it's just one of them where you're like, well, why aren't they?
Since
Why
we
aren't they
fired
doing
Ron
it?
Rivera and Bruce Allen, we don't. But
True.
I appreciate Rel for joining us, even though he's an Eagles fan. But I'm sure that fan base and every other fan base in the entire country says the same thing. Why can't we get full-time officials? There's zero. I don't see any issues with it. They can even start a fucking school, like official school. Hey, you need to come learn and study, and once you graduate, you're going to get $1 million. I'm just putting out there $1 million a year or whatever.
Sure.
For
they could afford that.
Your crew chief or whatever, gets paid, so much, but you're there watching film throughout the week. That's your work week.
As I recall, when they went on strike, remember that when the Packers and the Seahawks had that ridiculous fucking play that finally broke the strike?
2012.
Yeah. They negotiated something like a $400,000 per game paycheck. All right, something like that, I think it was. That's still, if you factor in that you want to double that now for all the officials, And yeah, man, you're going to keep raising the number of rules that they have to pay attention to every year. You're going to keep giving them more responsibility every year. These guys get bigger and faster and more complex on these offenses and defenses every year, and the same fucking guys are expected to keep track of it. And it's just it's leading to bad games when you consider that the NFL is in bed with fucking gambling institutions. They're advertising that they're the official gambling thing. Get it right. We like to bet, but get it right.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, John, because it's one of them where we have it in our sport. Maybe they need to look outside of the NFL for this because, we've got full-time officials who train, who have to pass fitness tests in various sports. A rugby referee, for example, has to meet a minimum standard of fitness to ensure that they can get round the park while watching it. Same with a football, referee in soccer, exactly the same. And I know referees are not in the NFL and not in the same standard, but you have to be able to physically manage the game. And as you said, people are getting stronger, fitter, both on offense and defense, and it seems like the game's getting less left behind. And technology has to play its part as well in this. Sure. I don't think VAR is the call, but how can New York take a look at that play, for example, and still make a poor spot? I don't understand how that works. They don't have a
definitive angle.
So
I mean, I agree with Jesse as well about the why don't you actually create like a university or a college for actual
because the circus is all closed and there's no more clown college.
So
that's true. But the thing is though, is like you can even make that into a tax fucking write-off, anything as well. So it's not even like it even costs the NFL any money to do it. You know what I mean? After the initial outlay.
So one of the things about that, and I'm going to make an assumption about soccer or rugby, and I'm sure can correct me, but in soccer and rugby specifically, when you have a foul, they're definitively seen. Like you can clearly see when it happens, and it's not necessarily a judgment call.
Or a guy falls down and goes, "Ow, ow!" Right. And they all run up and say, "Hey, you're
like Wiley."
Not in rugby.
Right, but like when you have like a foul, it's definitive. In football, it's so much of a judgment call because you see every official calls holding differently. Every official calls pass interference differently. They'll have a conference to say, "Well, what do you think happened?" It's such a judgment thing because of how loosely worded the rules are, and it kind of leaves it up to that interpretation. It's kind of the same thing with baseball because baseball has umpire schools, and yet they still are awful.
Right.
So,
Christ, we really talked about referees for 15 minutes. Right?
We have. Yeah. Wow. So we got Adrian Hill tomorrow night. He likes to throw a lot of flags. Sometimes he doesn't. So there you go with the referees. Our weather's going to be weather.
Cold and a little bit of rain.
What's cold? Call me cold. Tell me what's cold.
38.
38? All right, Jaden's never played in 38 degrees. I think he's going to freaking feel fine. I'm not too worried about it whatsoever. I'll tell you what. Where's that rail dance again, man? You're right. Okay, he says, Eagles, let's go. As the Eagles fan, he says he loves our quarterback. It's going to be a good one. I hope so, man. I think we've been in this position before where Commanders fans have hyped up in the past and thought, oh, wow, we've got something going here. We can maybe play with these guys, and we go up and get the shit kicked out of us. Or, like big, fluffed up, over puffed up, fucking steroided out Andrew or fucking LaRon Landry opens his mouth in the tunnel and starts a fight, and fucking Michael Vick lights him up. Or
would you even bring that up
into your house and beats the shit out of you?
Why did you bring that up?
Because I'm bringing up everything, all the bad things, all the good things. I got family up in Philadelphia, so and yeah, man. When I was a little kid, I lived up just outside of Philadelphia, Newtown Square. So.
See, I think this game, I think we're catching the Eagles at a bad time, and
I do too.
Are we?
Probably, yeah, because they're getting healthy. They are healthy, and we're not. We need a bye.
Jesse.
Bad.
So the Eagles are catching us at a bad time.
We're going against the Eagles at a bad time.
All right, okay. We're not catching them. They're in a good time.
They're getting healthy, but at the same time, they're on a 5-game win streak. But we have to go over this again. Their 5-game win streak has been against Cleveland, New York, Cincinnati, Jacksonville,
I mean, we said
and
this the same thing against the Steelers. So
if we don't accept that excuse when it comes to what our schedule has been,
because our schedule, we've only beaten bad teams anyway. We haven't beat a good team yet.
What I'm saying is, you look at who they've beaten, and you look at who we have beaten, and you look at the progress we have made. But we've made progress against the good teams. We went from losing by 18 the Commanders. We went by losing.
No, come on, Jet, man. In all honesty, I get your point. I completely understand your point. But who have we beaten that's a standout?
I understand that.
That's
but
not what he's saying. He's talking
what
about
I'm
the
saying,
losses that we've had to the good teams.
the losses that we have had.
No, I
we
understand
went
what you mean. Yeah.
in terms of the 3 losses. We went beat by 18 in week 1, beat by 7, but again, team that's most likely going to make the Super Bowl. So losing by 1 to a very good Pittsburgh team. Okay. And in watching that Pittsburgh game, until the very end, we were in control of that game.
Hands up. Who thinks that we were the ones that lost that football game as opposed to
we lost
winning
that game.
football game? We lost it.
Facts.
But that doesn't make any of my points invalid. We are beat up right now.
Yes, we
are.
You're right. We're going to be without 3 players. We're going to be without a corner that we haven't seen play. Our
and
kicker,
our
and
offensive
our
line.
Ace.
We
have 3
Tyler
guys that
Biadasz has 3 different injuries. This is what I mean by beat up, man. We're nicked up. We're coming off of a short week in a very, very tough fought game against a very difficult team in the Steelers, and the Philly rested all their players in the second half last week against Dallas. They had a power puff game, and they're actually healthy. I don't think anybody's on there is going to be out. Jordan Mailata is probably even supposed to be back. I heard from a Philly.
Yes, he was activated today.
Yeah, so I think our second game against Philly, we'll have a better shot. Hopefully Marshawn's there, and I guess we're going to talk about him in a little bit because another game without Marshawn, there's questions to be asked about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
And I think Brian Robinson is still up in the air right now.
He is completely off the injury report.
He says he's playing. Yeah,
he is. He does no designation. He is completely healthy.
So
all Dan Quinn from his press conference said earlier, which was only like 4 minutes long. It was very short. He said Brian Robinson is basically getting speed into his legs today. That was the aim of the.
The only 3 questionables we have are Wiley, Lucas, and Coleman.
Those are 3 big questionables.
Yeah, they are. But
last week Wiley was just an emergency guy, and Lucas was flat out. So that's at least positive.
So it's a positive that they're coming back, and I mean, they're offensive linemen. They're going to be hurt. They're going to be hurting.
Yeah.
Well, the facts remain.
I mean, you watch when Biadasz out the game. Our linemen are shit.
He wasn't very good when he was in the game. If you actually watch it, he was getting blown up.
Well,
he didn't have a good game.
All they were bad, man. Coleman got blown up as well.
I think you got to give credit to
JG Watt because
you got to give credit to the Steelers there as well. They're a very good defensive line.
But the Eagles' defensive line might be better. At least the interior.
Well, statistically, if you look at the defense of Philly, they've got the best defense in the NFL. Which, after stats, it was the Steelers. Now it's the Eagles. If you look at their back end, especially, they're high. I think they've got the most sacks in the NFL. They've got the best red zone. They've got their best defense against the run as well, which is a worry. Especially if you're going to try and ram it down the throat and run the ball. I know. I'll read the phone book to you later, John. It's fine. It's tough because this is a game where it's going to call for us. It's are you a contender or are you a pretender? That's what we want to know because realistically, one of these teams is going to come off this game and say,
"So let me ask this:
what are we going to do?"
Again, though. Are those stats inflated because of who they've played?
It doesn't matter.
Yes, most likely. But we're the same. We're the same.
Yeah, you can't help who you play.
You're right. Well, we just put up 27 against the number 1 scoring defense last week.
That has no bearing on what we might do on Thursday.
You go look at those of who they played. I mean, the same. Mm-hmm. You can say the same thing across the league. There's only so many good teams, and you got to play what your schedule is. And what I mean, you can't take.
I think there's a shitload of teams right now that are under 500.
But the last time the Eagles played a team that was over 500, they got beat by Tampa Bay 33-16.
All right. We got beat on Sunday by a guy who sounds like a fucking goat.
Right, by a team that is now 8-2. They
All right. So
they have not.
And then we're not going to get beat by that again.
Speaking of getting beat by that again, wouldn't that be the perfect time for St. Ghost to actually give away a penalty? No, they need a touchdown.
I would suggest
he's on the 10-yard line.
The only way he's going to get a penalty on Mike Williams is to yell a fucking expletive at him that's against the rules, because there's no way he's touching him. He can't get anywhere close to him.
Even tried to get you stood there and then run past.
Well, I know, but by that time,
walking PI, you just fucking foul him.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing: by the time he's passed, that's when St. Juice's brain stops thinking, "Oh, I might have had him." Oh shit! And by the time he has to think, "I have to stop him," it's too late. He can call him a name.
He just needs to leave, man. He needs to get out my team. That's what he needs.
He's not very good whatsoever.
7 games.
Which brings
7
up
games.
what we were just talking about. When is Marcus Lattimore going to play?
Who's Marcus Lattimore?
Oh, he's
Marshawn Lattimore.
Marcus Lattimore.
I'm sorry. It's the
that
end
was
of the
a
fucking
that was
day.
a.
I wish you guys would. I wish
It's
that
the end
y'all
of the
would
day, mate. It's 11 o'clock at night here, John.
That's fine.
Get a grip of yourself.
If I had 5 hours to decompress after my day, but no, my day ends at 4 o'clock, and then I got to come up with all this shit for this show.
Marcus Lattimore was a running back at South Carolina.
Thank you. I've known so many names by now. It's hard to
Max
keep
the
them
Oracle.
Lattimore, that Lattimore had his knee go like this.
straight. The elephant in the room. When's he going to play? Because if
After
you're
the
talking,
bye week.
well, that's a long.
The bye week?
That's still
That's a long way away.
because we got
That's a month away, Scott.
Yep.
we got what, Tennessee next week, and then Dallas, then the bye.
Flip it.
I think.
Flip it.
Sorry, the other way around. I
Is
think
it Dallas then Tennessee?
Is it Dallas next week?
Yes. I believe.
okay.
I think Lattimore's going to play against Dallas.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
'Cause we didn't trade for Lattimore just for this season. You're going to hold him out until he's 100%. Give him a mini.
I know, but at the
he might
same
not.
But the
time,
question is, when is he going to be 100%?
I mean, that's the purpose of the mini buy.
well,
You need him against
that's
Dallas,
the
though.
friggin' hamstring. That's what that is.
Rush.
Scouts, you are our resident doctor. When I say hamstrings are tricky and they can linger wrong, am I fucking lying?
No, you're not lying. It just depends. To say if you catch it at the right time and then you actually do the right rehab, then you normally back in 4 to 6 weeks. That's the usual time frame for a hamstring injury. But then, as you know, NFL players, they try and play through it, or they don't get back to 100%. They keep playing on it, and then eventually it goes, and then they're done for like 3 months. You know what I mean? So that's the problem you get in the NFL, because I said you can do only so many games that these guys are getting rushed back way before. Lattimore probably should be a month out, and he's had 2 weeks, and they're thinking, "Oh, should he be back next week?" And you're risking that extra week, 2 weeks, and that could be the difference between him getting re-injured again and
I
not.
don't think they're going to let him touch the field until he's 100%. Which
Yeah, I
begs the
agree.
question is since
these type of injuries are kind of iffy, why didn't they put him on IR? Because it's already been he's been here 3 games already. Two. This will be his second.
And he played the week before he got
Third.
traded.
All right.
No, he didn't.
Still,
No, he didn't. He was out. He was out for 2 weeks before that.
He last played on the 27th of October. If I'm not doing math right, that is 2 weeks ago. He had 2 tackles that
He got
game.
traded right after that game.
So he
All right.
played the
So
game before he was
He's been here
traded.
for 3 games total.
2.
So
This will be his third.
Yeah.
I know
So
we didn't just trade for this guy for this. He's a future trade as well.
I
because
mean,
we're gonna-
even if so, we're only
But-
paying him 600,000.
right, but
Yeah.
we traded for him to be the guy to come in and help
Yeah.
us with this immediate fucking elephant in the room, which is Benjamin
Yeah.
St. Just can't cover anybody. By the way, brought to you by the Woo Technologies of Kitchen.
To be honest with you, I would rather him
Conversations
come back
versus
after the bye instead of before the bye, because I think
it might be too
I
late.
think we're going to win against the Titans and Dallas. I don't think we really need him. I'd rather just wait for the.
That's
for
my
the final
thoughts as well,
stretch,
Jesse. That's my thoughts as well. That's
And
why
the
I was saying
Titans and
after
Dallas
the
are not
bye.
scary receivers either, but you could say what.
Or
Who?
CD,
CD
I
Lamb.
mean,
CD
CD
Lamb.
Lamb, but I mean, who's throwing the
Yeah, I
ball
know.
to him?
I
I
know
got a
exactly.
$2 bill that says that Cooper Rush or fucking Trey Lance is going to roast roast Benjamin St. Juice next week.
Deluxe puts that Lattimore's got to get comfortable with the defense. I don't think it really has much to do with that because how defenses are called. Dan Quinn, if you know, he talked about it in his press conference. He said he doesn't need, the only thing that's holding him back is the health. Cornerbacks is the easiest spot to learn as far as the terminology goes because he already knows how to play man and how to play zone.
But terminology, yes, but it's also the chemistry with the people he's going to be passing off zones with. Don't shake your hand at that. We saw how bad it was under Del Rio.
Excuse me. Jack Del Rio found last week on a fucking park bench by the police and arrested for fucking public intoxication.
That argument was null and void there.
Yes, completely
but what I mean is we have seen corners that have been what?
Look, at this
We've
point,
also had bad corners.
All you have to do is show him one game film of Benjamin St. Just and say, don't do that. And he'll go, okay, I know what to do.
I mean, his first day on the job, he was fucking coaching.
You're right,
he was.
But it's not Madden.
So,
you're not going to just plug and play in a corner.
Understand
so
that.
you actually you have to build chemistry. You want to do that before December.
Okay, so other teams made trades for cornerbacks. Are they going to play?
What teams traded for what corners?
I'd have to go look it up right now, but I know that there were other teams that traded for a couple.
Another one that got traded.
Tre'Davious White didn't play because his first game was 2 days after he was traded.
Point being, we didn't just bring him in here to play next year. All right, if Philadelphia is not as an important game, I think it's a highly important game, especially given how easily St. Just is roasted. I said at the outset, I'm concerned about it. Hamstrings are fucking funny, man. And when I say I'm concerned about it, I don't care if he's going to be awesome next year. We got a shot right now. All right, we got a shot right now, and we could be held back by this fucking piece of Canadian bacon that doesn't know how to cover anything.
Maple syrup hands.
Right. All anybody has to do. Here's, what an opposing.
What was that,
Jalen Hurts did.
Did you just call him a Cinnabon?
Maple syrup ham.
Maple syrup
Oh,
hands.
I thought you called him a Cinnabon.
A little Canadian pun there.
Jalen Hurts spent 5 minutes in the film room and went, 25, got it, and walked out. He's ready for the game.
Yeah, I mean that's what Quinn was saying in his press conference. He's like, cornerbacks. That's an easy transition.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from with that, but like John said, this for me is a massive game. It's huge. We're already behind the 8 ball because we're no longer first in the East.
We're sixth in the conference.
This could make or break the season. It's are you a good thing or were you just a nice story in the season? This is what it boils down to now, because realistically, yes, we have a 4th place schedule. Yes, we could probably beat the Cowboys twice. But you might be right, Jesse. Later down the line when we're at home to the Eagles, we may get a win there. And things will be tight moving forward. But as you also said, the Eagles are on an upward trajectory as well. They're playing very well at the minute. And it's going to be really, really tough. Really tough tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm kind of disappointed that Lattimore's not ready. Go ahead, Scouse.
No, sorry. When we first signed Lattimore, the first thing I thought of was him up against A.J. Brown. That's the first thing I thought. We need someone to stop
we brought
A.J.
him
Brown.
in here for caliber receivers like that.
We want him for the stud receivers, exactly. And,
the A.J. Browns, the C.D. Lambs, the Malik Neighbors.
I mean, that worries me. Do you know what I mean? For this game this week, if he's not, because I originally thought they're probably just faking that injury just to, so he doesn't have to play so much time, before he gets traded. But
Devontae Adams injury.
Yeah, exactly.
As
soon as he got traded. I'm just worried that if it is a genuine 4-week injury, I say he is going to be after the bye, as you say, and I need him for AJ Brown tomorrow. You know what I mean? I need him for those games. Titans don't scare me with their receivers. Dallas, besides CeeDee Lamb, doesn't scare me. But again, they've got no quarterback, so I'm not worried about Lamb either. So it's kind of we don't need him for them games. We need him for the big games, against the Eagles, stuff like that. That's what we need him for.
I would say this
Falcons,
when we're talking about maybe it being
receivers.
the end of the season for us, or maybe being a bell ringer like that. All right, so this week I'm sure you've seen the body bag game. The fucking Eagle fans love to bring up the body bag game, right? Y'all are familiar with the body bag game?
What are you doing?
I'm talking. All right. You familiar with the body bag game, Scott and Scouse?
Yeah.
All right. Everybody, all the Philly fans, oh, yeah, we've kicked your ass on the body bag game. Blah, 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 blah. The rest of the story is 6 weeks later, the fucking Redskins walked in the goddamn vet and bounced those goddamn Philadelphia Eagles right out of the fucking playoffs. 20-6, game over. Sit your ass down. So when I hear all this stuff about Philadelphia and all these, Max is all worried about all this, the big picture. So even if we lose this weekend or tomorrow, the season's not over. All right, we still have, we've got a long way to go yet.
And to point out, our schedule is getting a lot easier. Meanwhile, Philly still has to play the Rams, the Ravens, and the Steelers.
Yeah, but let's be honest. I've just heard that. I was going to bring that up as a point because obviously Sean's brought it up in the chat as well, saying Eagles have got a tougher schedule the rest of the way. Who? Rams are average at best. Do you think this team, the Philadelphia team, couldn't beat the Steelers? I think they can.
Atlanta, the 3 seed at the moment, mate.
Correct. No, I'm not saying Atlanta. We've got Atlanta. They've got the Rams, is what I'm saying. The Rams aren't the best. They're mid at best. Who have they got on that schedule that would worry the Eagles? To me, the only one is Baltimore.
And
that's
Pittsburgh.
I strongly believe that the Eagles are the second best team in the NFC.
Same.
I think I picked them to go to the Super Bowl, but I can't remember because that's something that.
But the one problem with the Philadelphia Eagles, and the only problem with the Philadelphia Eagles, is their head coach.
Correct.
Yeah, he is a bit of a head case. They managed to win despite that. So, all right,
they've taken play calling duties away from him. He doesn't make any. They've started.
The play
taking
calling is now by Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he used to call the plays after Steichen left. But he didn't even hire Kellen Moore. He didn't even hire Vic Fangio. That was done by Howie Roseman himself.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
now, players like him, except for Jalen Hurts. A lot of information I got on the Eagles I actually learned not too long ago listening to Bram had a Philadelphia guest on. But he is a culture type of guy, but he is not he's not really involved with actual coaching anymore.
Remember when he first became coach, he was talking about their auras and shit, or whatever kind of mystical crap he was talking about. So, yeah, that's what his role is. Go ahead.
He wasn't the pew, pew, pew. No, that was Gannon, right? Or the guy that was like pew, 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 pew.
Oh, I don't remember.
To one of the receivers. Cardinals coach. He was Cardinals coach.
Jonathan Gannon?
Jonathan Gannon, yeah. He's a
was,
weirdo, too.
He was
the defensive coordinator, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was there when they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, off of that. So what other Eagles trivia do you have for us?
I
will tell you the Eagles were a good team owner back in the
awful.
day. We talk about our shitty owners. The Eagles had an owner by the name of Leonard Toews who was forced to sell the team to pay off his gambling debts.
That was, losing. One of the main reasons why I was so mad about losing the Pittsburgh game was because that was the chance to try to stay ahead of Philadelphia.
Yeah, I agree.
And now we can't do that because I don't think we're winning tomorrow. I don't really think we have much of a chance.
All right, well, then let's move on to something that we're going to talk about here, which will be our battle. That'll wake your headphones right on up, I think. All right, so the battle plans. What is it that the Commanders are going to have to do tomorrow to be able to win this football game? Jesse, we'll start to you.
It's so hard because they can beat you in so many different areas. But I'm going to say get to Jalen Hurts. Got to get to him so he doesn't, throw for 300 yards to A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's probably going to have like 210 yards. But I know everybody else is going to say Saquon. Yeah, I mean, that's another whole nother issue fucking right there.
That's the other frontal lobe. You got to get one first. Right.
But if we can somehow disrupt their passing game and try to play it like we were doing earlier in the season, give up, let the team run on them and tighten up in the red zone. Mm-hmm. I think that gives us kind of a chance.
All right. Scotty, what about you? What's your battle plan? How are we going to win this game?
Yeah, I think it's the other way. Stopping Saquon is where I go with it. I know Hurts has got legs as well and he can throw, which is fine. Our secondary, obviously, I agree with your point there, Jesse. It's not going to do very well at the corners, but we've got to stop the run. We've got to stop the run as well. Up the middle, it's terrible. And against the Steelers, we did well. We did well with that run stopping. So I'm confident that we can do that, but it's going to be a really, really tough game, irrespective of which way round you do it. If you sell out for the run, like we have been doing at times, to stop the pass, then that's great. Or if you go the other way to stop the pass, it's really tough. But I believe more in Saquon's legs than I do in Jalen Hurts' arm.
I think last week it looks like the Steelers rushed for a lot of yards, and I guess they did pile them up, but it took them a hell of a lot of carries to get there.
Yeah, well, they had like 45 carries or something like that.
So
Yeah.
they only had an average of like 3 yards a carry.
See, the thing, my thinking on it is both. They got two number one receivers on that side of the ball.
Is Devontae going to play?
Yeah.
His hamstring was bothering him.
Yeah, no, he's playing.
All right. So, Scouts, would you agree that, say if you're Benjamin St. Juste, kicking him in the ass really hard, take a 15-yard flag, just kick him right in that fucking hamstring as hard as you can as soon as he comes off the line, would that be a valuable play?
Yeah, I think sometimes taking a penalty is the right call sometimes, but it's got to be in the right situations. And snapping some guy in half so he can't play the rest of the game, then I can deal with 15 yards.
Oh, I don't know about killing somebody, but we can't say that out here in public.
But in general, obviously St. Ghost is, he's going to be fucking burnt toast like you mentioned before,
or a perfectly done roast.
Perfect roast. Normally a Sunday roast we call it in the UK, Sunday roast, but obviously
he would be.
Thursday this time, Thanksgiving roast. But but for me to stop, what we got to do, we've got to stop this fucking tush push shit. We've got to stop these guys fucking getting 3rd and 1s, 4th and 1s. We got to eliminate them in that area. We got to stop them right there.
Yeah, keep them out of the short yardage for sure.
Exactly, we got to keep them 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s. Why? Because that stops them from getting into that tush push area. Because it's so hard to stop, and they just keep churning the ball, just moving the ball down in between the sticks, in between the 20s every single time, because people can't stop the fucking thing. So we've got to find a way of stopping it. So I know it's hard because it's the $64,000 question, but that's what we've got. We've got to somehow find a way to win more of those battles, of those 3rd and 1s, 4th and 1s.
We've done it before against them, but that was a whole different regime. So I can't say anything about whether we do have a knack for stopping teams at the goal line with a turnover, including them.
True.
So, and we did stop their tush push once last year. All right, Max, what about you? Give me a battle plan while I push the buttons of the NFL and see if they'll sue us for me using that music.
I looked up, the game plan the same way we beat them the last time we played them at night.
Okay.
Long drives, run the ball, give up the points when they get the ball, but keep the ball, win the time of possession. Limit their possessions.
Yeah, what did we have last week? Like 18 minutes or something in time of possession. It wasn't much.
Yeah, and the week before that, the Giants just dominated time of possession in the first half. They just couldn't do anything with it. So, all right. So for me, I think the battle plan. I'm going to bounce off a little bit of everything here. For the pass rush, not just get to Jalen. You got to contain that son of a bitch. Don't let him get outside and start making things happen, because that's where we get beat. We've been able to get to all of the quarterbacks that we faced pretty much. We've been able to harass them pretty well. It's just that, he makes that little move and gets outside. We've seen Russell Wilson do it. We saw frickin' Caleb Williams do it to us. We've seen every mobile quarterback, except for, I think, Kyler Murray, be able to do that. When they can get outside, they can make a play happen. So keep him contained. Get a hold of him. Put him on the goddamn ground. That is my key to the game. I'd say, keep Saquon contained and try to stop or sell out to stop the run and then keep everything contained. The problem is that you can't contain Saquon, because that son of a bitch will bust it from 75 yards.
He's so good, man.
He really is.
And he's healthy. He really is. The worst. It's just the worst.
I don't even think I'm going to be mad at it, man, because he's just doing that to everybody.
Yeah,
that's
you just look at it. It's like when we were watching the Ravens game in the fourth quarter, watching Derrick Henry, and you just go, What are you gonna do?
We
It's like
stack
watching.
up against
There's a
him.
kitten in the middle of the road, and there's a dump truck coming. Oh shit! What
Yeah,
are
we
you gonna
can't
do?
even
It's
get
gonna
still
get
ran
killed.
over us. You know what I mean? Like, so what the fuck are we going to do to Barkley? You know,
He's
That's
so
what I'm
good.
saying. That's why I'm
He's-
saying try to stop the pass and get to Jalen Hurts. Hopefully, maybe have him make a couple mistakes. You know,
Yeah, get a couple of
because
turnovers.
I know Barkley's going to get his no matter what. No matter if we sell out to stop the run.
Yeah.
9 in the fucking box. Barkley's still going to fucking get it. So why not go at it from a different angle and try to limit that and try to beat them in a high scoring game.
All right. Well, those are our battle plans. I like that thing. All right, and now we're going to move right on to who we think has to have the best game to be able to have a victory here. Who do you need to step up? Who are our It's so much fun making those stupid things. All right, so who's our man on a mission, Max? We'll start with you. Who do you think needs to step up and have a big day on Sunday or tomorrow for us to win?
To go off of my battle plan, Tyler Biotish needs to just lead the offensive line and get the push going and let the offensive line move forward in the run game. We need to run the ball to beat this team.
All right, and we're looking good with Brian Robinson.
Brian Robinson is completely healthy.
How about Biotish himself?
He's also completely healthy.
He's not completely healthy.
He has no injury
He's as
designation.
That
completely
doesn't
healthy
mean
as
shit.
they can be, right?
It means he's
Don't
going
mean nothing.
He's as good as he's going to get right now. How about that?
like
Thank you until they feel my sound.
Thank you, buddy. I'm an Eagles fan, but I feel like we got a solid squad. Look, man, I'll tell you, Eagles fans, because there's been a couple of you here today. Yours is the team that I fear the most in the NFC. I mean, the Lions, I think, showed a little bit of a chink in their armor against the Texans, and that's not a slight against you, Mr. Chang. Anyway, let me hear from you, Scouse. Who's your man on a mission?
for me, it has to be Newton.
Okay.
I think.
God
think
told me
we-
to interrupt you with a video, so go ahead.
That's all right, I mean. You know, I'm only the guest on here. You know what I mean? They treat me like.
You're the junior guest. Permanent guest is way over there.
But yeah, man. I mean, yeah. I think Newton. He's got to have a huge game. He's got to be the man on a mission. He has to be. He has to stop. He's saying he'll help us stop this run, stop that touch push bollocks I was talking about before.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to get in there. He's got to get involved and stop it early doors. If we can get them to give us the ball back and turnover and downs, I think we've got a good chance of actually getting some points. So, good field positions, etc., etc. For me, that's it.
All right, Scotty, what about you? Who's your man on a mission?
It's Brian Robinson Jr. Has to be. There's no other. Well, I mean, you could
Well,
call
all
Jaden.
three of you
but
have
it's-
now said there's nobody else, and it has to be. So y'all going to fight it out in the parking lot or something?
Well, probably, yeah. Why not? Eh? I'll
on the
throw
plane,
hands. I'll throw hands. I don't mind. It's Brian Robinson, because we haven't had him for a couple of weeks now. We need to see where he's at, and he makes a massive difference when he's in this team.
He does. He absolutely.
I mean, it just wasn't the same without him last week. You can call all the plays you want, but McNichols and Eckler just were not doing it last week, and C-Rod just dropped off him enormously.
They didn't really give him much last week.
Let's score 27. Just
I
saying.
know. I know.
Right. Well, credit Danny Smith for having a brain fart, down there, even though his, they called that thing on the spot. All right, so Jesse, who is your man on a mission? Who's got to have a big game on Thursday for us to win?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Mike Sanders still. I think he's probably going to be up against Devontae Smith. And listen, A.J. Brown, he's going to get his. We know St. Juice is probably going to be with him. This is a tough Philly offense. But I think Sanders still could make some noise. Maybe, a couple
noise
pass
than
breakups.
Scott?
Don't let Sanders still don't let Devontae Smith get over the top, because that kid is fucking fast as hell. And if Sanders still can hold his own, maybe we got a chance.
Yeah, and that's why my man on a mission's got to be Jeremy Chin. This dude has been on a mission the last couple
He's
of
been
weeks, man.
playing very well.
He's got a firm handle on what he's supposed to be doing within this defense now, and he's flying around. He's flying like a missile. So that's what I want to see out of them in the back end there. Like you said, A.J. Brown's going to get his. Devontae Smith can fly. There's probably going to be a little revenge on the mind of Jahan Dotson. They've got a decent tight end. Man on a mission is Hartley's typing.
Is it really loud, my typing? I apologise. Like, I'll put myself on mute.
Just listen to the show back.
I can just see that Kermit.
Hey, can you hear this?
Get that thing. So
Yeah.
there's mine.
That's what it sounds like.
It's not even
Sorry.
that. You stabbed that thing.
Yeah, it's called one
All right,
finger typing, John.
Yeah, it's all right. He is nobody fuck with Hartley. He is our official liaison to the people in our chat. He makes people feel as if they are welcome on the show because as much as I'm glad that they're here, I don't pay attention to any of those folks. No, I'm just kidding. My man on a mission is Jeremy Chin, man. Keep flying around, keep being violent, and let's let AJ Brown know that if he's gonna have his day, he's gonna pay for that shit. That's what I say. All right, so let's get some score predictions here. We're just about coming in on time. All right, we'll start. I'm gonna shoot it down to the bottom right there. Scouse, what's your score prediction for the game?
I think we lose. I think we lose by at least 7. And I'm going to say 31-24.
All right, 31-24 for Scouse down there. We'll go with you, Scotty.
Yeah, this is a loss. 28-21, Philly.
All right,
unfortunately.
Max. Jesse, I'm holding on for you to last.
That's all right.
I think we're going to lose as well, 27-24.
Yeah, I think we're also going to lose. I'm thinking it's going to be more something like 38-30. We're going to score our points, but they're just going to be able to – they're going to eat St. Juiced up. Jesse, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go 30-24.
Okay. So you and Scouse have
all
the same
5
score.
of us have
Almost.
Yeah,
31-24.
Yeah, we've all got us by at least a touchdown.
I think the game's going to be.
3 points.
I think we're going to be in it. I just think Philly's a great second half team. And
they are.
I think it's just going to be a little bit too much this week.
This
time.
Our last few games have been poor in the second half.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised in the slightest if we win this game. I would not be surprised in the slightest.
I wouldn't be shocked, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Right. I'll be very happy if it does.
I will too.
I think like I definitely it's a toss up, because either way I think this game could be 10 plus. I think it could be a 3-point margin. It's such. I mean, I know every game is a 10 plus or a 3-point margin. Good job, Max. But this game especially, these two teams are so evenly matched. Everything that you're saying about the Eagles, you can say about us.
No, I don't think you can.
Well,
they got a hell of a
I think we have a
receiving
much
core.
better
They
head
got better
coach.
running back. They got better defensive line. They got better defensive backs. They're a better team.
Correct.
But we're better
they're further
coached.
along
That's
on their,
one
they're
thing.
further
We
along,
are
but
a better
we're,
coach.
we're capable,
coach
I
team.
think.
Yeah, we're capable, John, and Max, you're right. I agree with you. I wouldn't be I wouldn't be like, oh, it's amazing, like we were when we snuck one on last Thursday night up there. But this is, or when we beat the Steelers and they were unbeaten. Right. It's not that sort of game. We have come on as a team. Definitely this season we've come on. But are we ready to beat the best of the best in this league? And I don't think we're there yet. I think we've still got too many holes. And I think that it's going to take at least another year, another off season to then have the full window wide open, if you like.
I do think though that the way how we've been losing the games is showing.
No, I don't think so, John. Scott G.
The way how we've been losing definitely shows improvement.
Yeah, well.
Whereas, again, we went 18-7 to now 1. I think this team is getting a lot closer than we think.
I think we had that game last week won, except for our own mistakes. I don't think we got beat in that game at all. And Scott,
it's how we get beat. Okay?
Who knows what kind of person's going to have a meltdown.
That's what angers me is the reasons why we get beat. Like the Steelers game, I was upset because we should have won that game. We shot ourselves. If we shoot ourselves in the foot, I'm going to be fucking pissed off because we let one get away.
Yeah, wasn't it what Joe Witt said after when they asked him about the Hail Mary? He says, "I didn't see it. I was pissed off." Because he thought he lost the game.
And just based off how the entire team was talking on Sunday, they were ready to play this game Sunday night. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than people think, and it wouldn't surprise me if this turns out to be similar to how it was with Cincinnati, where we came out then, but this is
a shootout.
I think this is going to not even the shootout, just where we came out as a contender. Because you could see it with the Cincinnati game. This game might be where we show people, hey, we're for real.
It's
Or
very
our defense
possible.
didn't show up in the Cincinnati game.
It's very possible.
You're right.
And I think that the defense has gotten exponentially better since then.
I think they have too. Yeah.
I think it's possible that we do go out and just play our game and go win. You never know. I think that the fact of the matter is right now that the Eagles are looking at us differently than they did on the year Taylor Heineke went up and had a perfect game. They probably looked at that on the schedule and went, we'll prepare for him a little bit. But not anymore. Not anymore. We've sent a message out to the league right now. You don't take us lying down. So I think that's where we're going to set it. We've all got it as a loss. It's unfortunate, but we'll find out tomorrow night. I hope we're all
we could
wrong.
win. I mean,
Hey, we could.
Yeah.
We could. It's just
Receivers
that,
catching the balls they're supposed to catch, and I think Jaden's going to have a better game than he did last week too.
I would hope
Minus
so.
weather. Ooh.
I don't think he had a terrible game. I know everybody says he had a bad game, and I think that we've set the bar very high for what is a bad game for him because he's been so good. Due out to his back. I don't know why
haven't
ESPN is
seen
showing
that.
it. Let me make a quick phone call there, Scott, and see what ESPN tells me. They don't fucking take my calls. I don't know. So, anyway, that's where we are right now. So, let's see. Tomorrow, Thursday, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon here on the East Coast, you get the 1 Point Safety Show, which is our good friend over there on the right-hand side of the yeah, that's good. You can hit it.
Sorry, I just didn't know.
Over here on the right side of the screen, you got Scott, who's way far away with his little tiny head. You got Scouts, who's way up front, who looks like the front end of a truck coming at you. This is the last thing you see if you're a squirrel trying to cross the road in Liverpool.
You're not wrong.
That's for sure. So, what do you guys got? 3 o'clock tomorrow, 1 Point Safety Show.
3 o'clock, yeah, we'll be on.
Anything special you're going to talk about?
Not really. Pretty much the same we've talked about here.
Well, I would say that you should probably, given how I always, fuck with Scouts when he's on our shows, you should probably take 10 minutes into your show and just really lay into me. Just call me every name in that goddamn book.
I have more respect than you, John. You know what I mean? I have more respect,
I would tip my hat to you, but I don't have it on. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is. The man from
Thank
Del
you,
Monte says no.
Thank you very much. All right, and then we will be back. We're not coming on and doing a post game tomorrow night after the football.
No,
game.
we are not.
No, I'm not. I don't know. Maybe it depends.
It's
If we
4 in
win,
the
I might
morning,
be
mate.
wide awake, and then let's see what
Mate,
happens.
it is going to be like
I
half
took Friday
4
off,
by the time
so-
this game. So did I. Yay. Scouse?
I did, but I'm driving like 3 hours tomorrow on the Friday in the daytime, so
How much
Nice.
sleep while you're driving? Everybody does.
although I'm not in work per se.
So
Appreciate
I don't know.
everybody
We might
in
do
the
a
chat.
post game. We'll set up the post game, and whoever wants to come in can come in. So that'll be right after the football game, and then we will be back again Friday at 5:30 to discuss this football game, and then we will be back Saturday at 5 p.m. to pick the NFL and make some bets, and then we are going to take a break, which is good because I need a fucking bye week
It's our
from the
bye week.
podcast. That's right. I need a bye from the podcast. Phew. It's been like a full-time job lately. So until all those things, man, go Commanders. Let's hope we get a big win tomorrow. We'll see y'all later.
Raise hell, everybody.